All right, guys. My throat, as you can tell, is still kind of low. My register is a little lower than it normally is. And usually it's a little higher than that. But I'm going to try to get through it. Well, let me go ahead and get started. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. First thing come to mind. I was thinking about something. I heard somebody say today. They're referring to his other brother. He said, "Oh, this guy, he seems to be a really nice guy. His demeanor, his everything, and blah, 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 blah." Okay. Here's my thing about it when white people say shit like that. My thing is, first of all, y'all people have disrespected us for well over 600 years. It doesn't matter how nice we've been to y'all. It don't matter our demeanor. It doesn't matter a damn thing about us as black men. Y'all gonna disrespect us, and y'all have been disrespecting us no matter how nice we've been to y'all. You know, just last night, the third guy who was involved in the execution of James Byrd got executed himself last night. They murdered that brother for no reason. They murdered him just because he was black. They say he was a nice guy. He was nice to everybody. And they killed him just because he was black. That happened over 20 years ago. I'll never forget that. I was so furious about when I heard it. The way he got that brother died it was just beyond tragic. I noticed the media didn't say too much about the white guy who was executed for killing a black man. You know, when it comes to stuff like that, they keep it real mum. They keep it real. You know, they turn down the volume quite a bit, so you don't even know that it even happened. When they do dirt to us, they keep it at the minimum. When put it like this, it's like I said, when they do dirt to us, they keep it at a minimum. When we have people that do dirt to them, the volume is full blast. They make sure everybody knows it. That's part of the reason why I'm talking about this. The other reason I'm talking about right now is because, like I said before, it doesn't matter how nice you are to white people. You can come in and clean as a whistle, you know, and doing what you do for your job and all of that, and you still going to have some of those very same people try to find something about you that they just want to disrespect you about no matter what. You know, and I can tell you one of the ways they do it, they try to talk like they black. Hey, bro, what's happening? I've had white people do that. I've had them do that. You know, I wore a big thick beard one time, and the guy tried to say I look like Rick Ross. I don't like no damn. If you ever saw me like, he don't like no damn Rick Ross. I don't like nothing like Rick Ross. Period. You know, and I'm not taking nothing away from Rick Ross, but I'm just saying I'm not him. You know, in any kind of way, form, or fashion. But that was years ago. You know. The white guy always try to associate you with somebody like that. They can't just see you for who you are as a man, as a black man. They can't. They have to always associate you with some kind of entertainer. Now, let me give you an example about something else. For those of you who watch Ricky Smiley's reality show on TV One called Ricky Smiley For Real, there was an episode where Gary was actually showcased. I think Gary is a part-time realtor or something. I don't know. But anyway, he actually brought two white people, this white couple, into the house to show, you know, I guess Ricky was selling one of his properties. And he asked him, did you know who he was? The white guy said, I'm kind of paraphrasing, kind of quoting a little bit. The white guy said, if the guy wasn't a criminal, I wouldn't even know who he was. That's what he said. Matter of fact, that's exactly what he said. If the guy wasn't in trouble, I wouldn't have known who he was. That was a direct quote. Yeah. So in other words, if he ain't in the news being locked up in jail, like the media always try to put us on the news all the time anyway, he would have never known. See what I'm saying? White people fickle as fuck. I'm being honest. They are very, very fickle. And they always look at us like that. You know? And I think that was messed up. If you didn't hear about the brother being in trouble, you wouldn't even know who he was. This is how invisible they make all black men who ain't about the bullshit invisible. That's a goddamn shame. You know? Then I heard something about a college. Excuse me, guys. About a college, a major all-black college. And what I read, male-black college. I don't think it's an all-male black college, but it's an all-black college that they want to start invoking transgenders to go into that college. Now, and this is me, I have nothing personal against people who are different like that. I don't. College thing is another whole story, you know. But I guess what, and there was some other issues I heard. I heard about another story this morning, 2 stories. Matter of fact, well, one in particular. It was on a YouTube channel where in California, if you don't get your kids immunized by a certain day, they're going to try to charge you some, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this too because I heard this morning, $2,000 and throw you in jail and take your kids away and put them in foster care. See how they're trying to destroy black families? They're talking about we doing. Look at y'all. Y'all implemented this shit 400 plus years ago during slavery. What's the first thing that the slave masters did when they found families of Africans that they brought over the United States? They separated. They had put the mindset in our culture from day one that we don't need to be no family. And that mindset has been there ever fucking since. It's been there ever since. We didn't start the fire. You know what I'm saying? So the world burns since the world been turning. You know? That's real talk. And I'm just being honest. This is not about pro-black or whatever. This is facts. I'm stating facts. This is for all to hear, baby. Remember that. You know? This is still for all to hear, no matter what. I changed my channel name to DJ Wolf Live, but this is still for all to hear. You know? And I'm just upset, man. There were 2 major incidents that happened in D.C. involving black men. One black guy who was being harassed by this white dude in an apartment in I think Glen Burnie area or something like that was murdered. This is even after he had protection, an order for protection from the guy. Stay clear of their brother, and the guy still got away with it because the judge denied the order of protection. This is documented. Read it. It's in the local D.C. area news media. Yeah, I meant to talk about that. This just happened recently. Got 22 years old, just graduated from college, man. That's a goddamn shame. Yeah, I'm saying goddamn shame. I meant what I said is a goddamn shame. You know? And you say that he, and if you look at the picture, he didn't seem to be the type of person just try to mess with anybody. He just didn't. You know, the judge caused him to get murdered because the judge didn't do the damn fucking job. Yeah, I said it. Sometimes certain things get me so upset and so emotionally charged up that I have to say whatever is on my mind, no matter how it comes out. I'm not saying because I'm trying to get gut or anything. I'm saying because it was how I feel right now. I don't know any other way to express it. I can't say Hail Mary full of grace because sometimes I don't feel that way. Not when people been doing dirt to us for 400 fucking plus years, and I'm gonna sit down and just be humble 24/7. The whole, forgive everybody for killing everybody in our culture, just for being in their culture. I'm tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. And there was another incident where I think the kid was still a kid, and in D.C. They cops beating up on him and handcuffed him, and come to find out he wasn't even the kid doing anything. There was another kid in New York. They said tried to beat his head in, and this is all recent. Yeah. But every time, God forbid, every time a situation like something like a Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown happened, and we react to it, the first fucking thing these motherfuckers tell you, oh, be calm, be calm, be calm. Like, here, boy. I'm sick of this shit. I mean, the one that really got me more charged up, and I wish I had kept that video up, because I had a copy of the video from CNN. I think it was from CNN. It was one of the social news sources. I had a major copy of it. It was the one Alton Sterling that got killed down New Orleans. I think that's the guy. And the cop, they had him pinned down. He didn't move. And the cop just took his gun, without any cause, and put 2 rounds in his chest. That's the most shocking thing I've ever seen on video in my life. One of the most, definitely was extremely shocking. Because you never expect the people who you pay to protect you kill you. That was fucked up. That was the most fucked up thing I ever seen in my life. Cop sitting right there. He's sitting right motherfucking there. Right there, Johnny on the spot. Had the brother pinned down. 2 cops, matter of fact. It was 2 cops. One cop holding him down. Other cop holding him down one hand and just take his other gun out in the other hand and just shoot him. Twice, dead center in the chest. For what? And then they walk. I don't even think they did. I don't think nothing happened to him. To the cops. The brother died. My understanding, he wasn't really doing much of anything. But he definitely didn't deserve to die. Whatever he did. He didn't deserve for officers to just, say, what, you need to stop, whatever you're doing. He wasn't doing anything anyway. Once they pinned him down, he wasn't doing nothing. He just shot him. But they try to say, oh, he was swinging, he was being combative. He wasn't doing nothing. I saw the whole video. I'm just sick of it, man. And I am. I'm just so angry. I am. I mean, I sound angry to some people, but I'm very upset. But this is what I understand. How is it that we as a culture do all this bullshit to each other, but we can't stand toe to toe to fight off racism in this country as a culture? I don't fucking get it. I know why, to be honest, because there are some things where I know why it's like it is. Because you have, number one, black women out here repping that shit. They repping white guys all day long. And they know it. Some of them do. They're like, oh, well, they don't seem to be as... One woman actually said on a podcast, on the YouTube channel I was just watching the other day, she actually tried to defend it. I was like, bitch, you can't defend that. You cannot defend that. I don't care what you say. You can't honestly say, the white man got a good heart, because they don't. Not like you think they do. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been around several white people in the past 25 years. And I've only known one who really was good-hearted that I know of. And I worked for this company many years ago. I was on his contract. My man's name was David. The day that I left, there's no bullshit, the day that I left, he cried. I mean, he literally cried. Tears in his eyes. I didn't cry. I was surprised. And I was, I guess I was a little flattered that somebody really cared about an employee like myself, because I did work my ass off there. He know that. We were very close, as employee to him, manager. And I never had that kind of relationship with managers ever since. I really haven't. I like that. Very few managers I've ever had that kind of relationship with, where you bonded, where you didn't mind working for the manager. You didn't mind, you would ride or die for him, and he was the kind of guy who was like that, But very few white people I've ever met like that. I remember I was driving on my way home. I think I was driving on my way home or catching a metro or something, and I cried, man. I think about that, because I said, "Wow." It was very moving to me. It really was. Yeah. It was touching. I was so touched by it, because we worked together some 9 years, and I never had the last person who reacted like that to me was my late friend Tony, and this was back in '85, just before I went in the military, and we had been friends for years, man. I think we were like friends for like probably some 11, 12, 13 years, something like that. We went through a lot as friends. We were like brothers. We were brothers, really. And he was like the slightly older brother, because we were a few months apart in the year, born the same year, and we clicked. We got along well, man. He ate at my family house, and I ate at his family house a few times. When his mom passed away, man, I was there for him. My whole family came through, man, and represented him and all that, because I didn't my dad. It was like, my dad was. It was really when my dad. And him were good buddies, to be honest. He went to go visit my dad years after I left Cleveland, and my dad always said that Tony was one of his favorite people. He always said that. He was one of mine too. But I ain't gonna lie, I miss that brother. When we was kids, hanging out with him was just like hanging out. It was just like a breath of fresh air. I don't know how to describe it. It ain't the way you think it is. But we were good friends. And, it was the first time I really got emotional talking about it. Because that's how much of a good friend he was, man. And, the old saying goes, friends, not many friends. There ain't too many friends around, man. So you don't have friends come once every so often, man. And he was one of those friends. And it's just when I think about that, I'm like, damn, for real. What y'all doing there? It's just it's the first time that this hit me since his passing in 2010. I didn't even know he had died until months later. That's the even worse part about it. But I happened to find out. I confirmed, a friend of mine told me about it. I was like, hell no, man. And then I went online to the Cleveland website and looked in the obituary, and sure enough, his face was right there. I know it was him because he had the same hat and shirt on the day I actually, one of the last days I saw him was in 2006 when another friend of ours died. He had the exact same thing on. In the obituaries, that's where he was found. That broke my heart. That's why I'm so appreciative of having a social media thing like YouTube and Spreaker, man, because it helps me cope with a lot of that. I was just watching my man, I forgot his name. I know his channel's called Belief in Fatherhood, and I watch it all the time. I watch him in the Chocolate Babies, and I'm a big fan of theirs. So I had to shout him out because he was talking about depression earlier in the video that I saw this morning he put out. And I can understand what he's talking about because I went through that. I went through depression for decades. I still kind of have some bouts with it, but to me, it's a lot more controllable as an adult now than it was for me as a child, because as a child, I was out of control, man. And I don't mean out of control, but it was just a lot of stuff that got to me. You know, I couldn't deal with a lot of that because I was young. And I'm watching my folks, you know, had a lot of issues and a lot of it. Good, what are these people doing these roads today, man? I can't go anywhere. I was up there. I got to turn out. What we doing? Come on now. You want to go left or right? Forget out the goddamn way. You just sitting there looking stupid. Now, I'm going to take this because y'all mess around too much. But I had to rep him because I know I don't know exactly what he's dealing with, but I'm glad he brought that up. And if your depression is to a point where it is out of control, I hope it's not. I hope and pray it's not. Go out and call somebody, man, and talk to them. Bro. Definitely, if I had a number, and maybe if I could find a number, I'll post it, because I definitely, it's a very messed up thing to deal with. But I know it was really worse for me as a child. It was much worse for me as a child as an adult. As a child, there was very few people I could talk to. Because, everybody, old school was like, well, your mom and dad been through the South and all that, and, blah, blah, blah. And they, had it harder than you. And, they're going to always say that. But you don't have a hard, it wasn't hard on you seeing them, virtually beat each other up and putting each other down. And then, you ain't having no options. But that's another whole story. One day I may talk about that another time, but I don't go into the well too often to talk about that. All I know is now it's 2019, and I ain't got to deal with that no more. That was just another part of my life that was a struggle. But God got you through the storm. That's all the way I see it. It's the only way I see it. I've even talked about it in church. Well, it was an issue kind of related to it that I talked about that actually was part of my depression. And it was the most candid and honest I've ever been there. But I don't think I'm gonna keep being too honest with some of the people around there, because sometimes people, even in church, they just want to know your business. They can care less about you. It's a good place to go for when you have that circle of people that you can actually really talk to down to earth. But on the other hand, you don't know if you want to talk to certain other people, because some of the other people, which I found recently, just all about the gossip. Real talk. Excuse me. They're all about the yip yap and all that stuff. Yip yap 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 yap. So sometimes it is, and it's worth the effort. Sometimes not. Yes, I still believe it's a social construct, mainly for women, because women are the biggest purveyors of churchgoers. That's a known fact. They are. They go, and especially the ones that the single mamas try to bring all the kids in there that they can't control, and try to go in there to get the revenue. Well, yeah, my kids. he don't want to listen to nobody. Yeah, I wonder why. You know, I'm being serious about it. You know, it's just what I'm saying is I think we still haven't figured out yet how to conduct our own lives the way we need to, in terms of how we conduct ourselves. There's no family structure anymore. You know, that was destroyed long time ago. You know, you got women today who wants to have kids without having a husband. I mean, I've heard women literally say that. You know, but then the same women who got 4 or 5 kids, all of a sudden they try to look for a man to settle down with after they had all their fun and then had about 4 or 5 kids out with like by 2 or 3 different guys. All of a sudden they want to settle down. Really? I don't get it. Don't get it. I just wish that, for me personally, as far as my, getting older and all that, I wish there was a way I could go in and just retire a little early and work on my music, and get into some other stuff now. I'm tired of working for other people. I ain't gonna lie, I've had it. I'll tell somebody else, I've had it. Because see, anytime you work for other people, I'm be honest, they control what you do. Even with YouTube or whatever. Or I wouldn't really say Spreaker, but for certain YouTube, I've never really had that problem with Spreaker, but YouTube I've had. Even there's some cases I've had with Spreaker. If I do the live feeds, I have. But I can't really say too much bad about Spreaker, but YouTube I can a little bit because I've had problems in the past. But you own it, but you only own so much of it, But my thing is, we gotta be able to control our own destiny. I'll say that much. We don't. And like I said, I won't go into detail about that. I've talked about it before, but we don't. I was watching Motown 60th anniversary. No, 50th. I'm sorry. Yeah, Motown was a Motown 60, and Berry Gordy was there. Berry Gordy, Smokey Robinson, Stevie Wonder, Diana Ross, and I think Lionel Richie. I'm not 100%. Those are the main surviving Motown acts that I know of. Now they ain't the only ones. I'm sorry, because but they were the biggest. One of the bigger names is still around though, of all the Motown acts. That's what shocked the hell out of me. I was like, wow, because pretty much all the Temptations are gone. Except one, I think he's still around. Matter of fact, Otis is still around. Otis was actually, he was one of the original founders of the Temptations. He's still around. Matter of fact, he was just interviewed on Sway not long ago. Great interview, by the way. And I'm surprised he wasn't on there. But that's another story. I don't know what happened. But I am surprised he wasn't on for real. But nevertheless, they had 2 of the biggest names in music who weren't black singing Motown hits. I was kind of bothered by that. I know Smokey Robinson had, was like, well, Motown music for everybody, and I understand that. But don't you want you want you to be rep? I would rather have Beyonce singing than Jennifer Lopez, and Beyonce is not a great singer to me. She's not. See, Beyonce is a great entertainer. Michael Jackson was a great entertainer and a great singer. Let's be real. But everybody talking about Beyonce is better entertained than Michael. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know how people can say that. Here's my thing. Michael Jackson literally ate and slept and breathed music his entire life. From the time he was a young toddler. This is a known fact. He was performing in nightclubs at the age of 3. I mean, come on. You know? And I'm like, and people say a lot of things about Michael Jackson, but one thing you can't say that he wasn't the consummate entertainer, slash artist, slash songwriter, slash singer, slash dancer. He was all of that. He's another person I miss dearly, man. I miss his music. I miss the way he emphasized the notes in his voice in his songs, man. I miss that. You don't see that anymore. I ain't seen it yet. I ain't seen it since. Everybody else is like, Michael Jackson wasn't like that. And he did it with not only pride, but he did it with joy. You could hear it in his voice. You could hear it. He's one of the very few artists that was like that. Now Prince was another beast, but Prince was talented as I don't know what. You know, I do, and this is I'm going on a limb because I forgot this is the month that Prince passed away in April 12th. And I get to do a live podcast on that, and man, wanted to too. I really did. You know. But I'm really, and I told you, I really do think that there was a conspiracy going around to kill all these acts, because all of these acts, the majority of these acts, these musical acts over the years that have been dying the last several years have been under 50 and under. The biggest names, 50 and under. I shit you not. I can name them off right at the top of my head, or 55 and under anyway. You know. These guys were, that was back, writing music and left and right, and were worth millions. You know, Michael Jackson, George Michael, and Prince. That's 3 right there. I ain't got the rest of them. You know, it just, I don't know. I just scratched my head. I said, it was a lot of artists, man. A lot of artists. I think one year, there's no joke. 2009, between 2008 and 2009, we lost like some 80 entertainers, and almost all of them were black. It was quite a few. I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, you can't be serious. I counted them off, man. It was a lot of them. It was like so many, it wasn't even funny. I was like, it was literally not even a joke anymore. It was real. And I was thinking, man, that might have been the year. It was a conspiracy. You were like, almost every week you heard about them. Like, good Lord. Man, it was just like falling off like flies. Scary, man. It really, really was. Yeah. But, oh well. But anyway, I'm just, what I'm saying is, man, we got to keep our head above water, man, because and Trump, he just seemed to get away with murder every week. That's another whole story. He gets to walk around and harass women and talk about fuck them in the pee and all that other stuff. And Bill Cosby's in jail for stuff that half the women said, and then women he wasn't involved with half of those women. It's already been proven. Several almost came out and said they lied about what he actually did. And I knew half of them was lying anyway. That's another whole story. They couldn't get anything on Obama, and I wasn't a fan of Obama myself, but they would have loved to got something on Obama, but they got all this dirt on Trump, and they won't even go after him. Ain't that something? I'll show you. White people know who to fuck with. Unfortunately, they fuck with us way too much though, and I'm tired of it. This is DJ Wolf. Yeah, I said it. And this is DJ Wolf, and I'm out.